Bitcoin attack continues. And an update on Sam Bankman-Fried on today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Welcome. My name is David. I'll be one of your co-hosts. And today, like every single weekday, coming at you live from our studio in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. Along with, speaking of Sam and Elizabeth Warren and more exchanges being halted, we're also discussing mortgage rates. We have some life hacks for you. Also, people are crying over Uniswap's new 0.15% fee. Is it fair or is it not fair? What is fair? Is your other host, Rob?
What is that? That was bad.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. Well, we're in the entertainment capital of the world in Las Vegas, and, well, we also deliver on the YouTube as well. So if you want to get the old, boring, and stale information everyone else is giving you, we do it in a fun and sexy way. Now,
are you surprised that Vegas is still the entertainment capital when we all see all these crazy stories from Florida? Pretty entertaining stories.
Florida's drama, right? Florida's drama.
But I see some headlines I don't see anywhere else from Florida.
Yeah, but Miami is popping. There's a lot going on in Miami. The city's vibing. You know, they got a big nightlife. I went down. I partied in Miami.
Story time?
No story. But I went down there and I partied for about 4 or 5 days. Bitcoin Miami
Must be nice.
The clubs are small. The venues are small, more intimate, more exclusive. You know, instead of trying to pack 5,000 people and top end nightclub with the world famous DJ, you got a place that packs 50 to 200 people, and it's a little more pricey, a little bit more exclusive. So, but anyways, Vegas, this is what we do, man. We cater to the world. We fly like 100,000 people in here, and then we're just like, yo, let's have a blast, let's have a party, and that's what we do here as well. So, very proud of my stomping ground. So there you go.
Speaking of stomping.
Here it is. Is Bitcoin at 30,000 yet?
No, Nando stomping on you. Said, Rob, 48 hours have expired. No ETF yet. What happened?
Sometimes Big Rob is wrong. Is that what you want to hear?
Wrong, Rob.
Is that what you want to hear? You know, I
I like that new effect.
where'd that sound effect come from?
That was a good one.
So, you know, I was watching a show today. I was watching a crypto show today.
Which one?
I was doing my rounds. And
You're not going to tell us which one?
Okay.
you know what? I'll just say. So I was watching Banter today, right?
Okay.
You know, he's got his new channel. Well, you got a new channel. Anyways, whatever. I like to check out a competition. Banter's got a good show. So I'm watching his show, and he was like, wow, we don't do price predictions. We don't do price. I don't know. Why not? What are you so scared of? You watch a sports show. What does every analyst do? Well, here's the score. My prediction: 27-14. Why can't we have price predictions? Because people are so scared of being wrong or being judged. Like, why? Who cares, man? You know what? I think by the end of the year, Bitcoin will be at 55,000. If I'm wrong, who cares? But that's my personal assessment. That's my opinion. That's where I think the price will go. And I have reason. I have a professional opinion, experience on why it could get there.
But I think a lot of people's reason is because they don't want people to follow, and
they don't want to be wrong. They don't want to be judged. Like, who cares, man?
I think a lot of it
take
is,
some risk in life.
I think a lot of it is people. No matter how many times you tell them, just because I said something doesn't mean it's going to happen. This is not financial advice.
You can take
people
that
still do it, and then they point the finger. And
wait, here's the thing: if we're going to go back to the sports analyst, if I say 27-14, you go mortgage the house and go put a sports bet in on the spread. You're like, well, Shannon Sharp says that Broncos are going to win by 10. Like, okay, if you decide to follow that, that's your own dumbass decision.
Broncos are so bad.
They're
pretty
so
bad.
But that's the thing. Everyone's so worried about what the community is going to think, about being judged, about maybe being wrong. Why don't we live a little, man? I'll tell you where I think prices are going to go.
Where is it going to go?
55,000 by the end of the year.
What about
$500,000 by the end of 4 years. And then in 10 years from now, who knows? Maybe the dollar ain't even a thing no more. Maybe we're all using the yuan.
What about
Rob Stradamus has
Ethereum?
spoken.
What about Ethereum at the end of the year?
Ethereum.
To the moon.
Ethereum's going to move with Bitcoin. So wherever Bitcoin's at, if Bitcoin, essentially a 2x, right?
Well,
Think about it. You could say, give or take, essentially 55,000. That's a 2x on Bitcoin. I think Ethereum should follow suit. So $3,000 Ethereum. Maybe it outperforms Bitcoin by a little bit. So $3,300. That would be my guess.
I don't think.
And you know what? Here's the thing about being wrong. And I wish I could find a way of doing it. I was on BitBoys around the blockchain, and I remember going on there and saying that mortgage rates. This was like a year plus ago, and I was like, mortgage rates could hit like 9% if we keep this this inflation. If the inflation keeps where it is, the Fed keeps raising interest rates. I'm like, who knows? Maybe we get to 9%. And I remember in the comments down there on his channel, somebody was like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's so stupid. He's like 9%. 8%. It's official number. How do I go find a year-old comment I had on somebody else's video? Any idea?
Just put the community to work.
Community? There was
Offer an incentive.
There was
Offer an
a
incentive.
okay, yeah. You know what? I will send you
Not company money though.
not company money.
No.
I'll send you 17 Olas during the show. Okay, we'll have a counter. So 17.
You'll have an
Olas.
olagasm.
We should have
Yeah.
a chart on the Olas.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was about a year ago where I was talking about interest rates and the 30-year average home mortgage locking in at 9%. And in the comments, somebody called me stupid.
You know, you might think like 4% to 8% is not that big of a deal, right? But when you look at it over a 30-year period, it is a lot of money. And I have a tweet I'll show here in a little bit. But I have a prediction too for the end of the year. I think when Bitcoin does start to rally to that 50K, 55K, I don't think we're going to see the big moves from the alts like we've used to see. I think a lot of eyes and liquidity is going to flow into Bitcoin because of the spot ETF, right? Bitcoin's going to take over the headline news. It's going to take over people's want to invest. And it's not just going to be Ethereum, altcoins. I think if Bitcoin's at 50K, I think Ethereum could still be under $2,000. That's my prediction.
How? What math?
Because of what I just said.
At what point has
Literally what I just said.
I know what you said, but at what point
Do you know what I said?
in the history
Doesn't matter.
in the history of Ethereum, when has it underperformed Bitcoin's movement?
Which is why I said, unlike what we're used to, that's just my thesis. I could be wrong. But
You're saying we're
inspired
going to
me
have an unprecedented
Robin, you inspired
move.
me to not be scared.
We're going to have an unprecedented move where Bitcoin moves and altcoins don't follow.
Yes.
That's interesting.
For a short period of time, not forever, for a short period of time, until people start making money on their Bitcoin gains and now start rotating that money into alt. But I think that transition is going to take a lot longer.
I think the markets are going to work exactly like the markets do. If there's breaking news, you're going to get a rally. If all of a sudden there's some XRP news come out, XRP is going to rally. If all of a sudden Bitcoin moves, altcoins rally. It's if there's an ETF launch for Ethereum, it's going to rally. If there's a launch on Bitcoin, it's going to rally. I don't ever really subscribe to the idea that the markets are going to all of a sudden change and do something completely different it breaks history and trend. There's always some catalyst to it. In my opinion, if ETH doesn't follow Bitcoin, it is because something broke with Ethereum. Something changed. Or it could be something changed with Bitcoin. Maybe Bitcoin all of a sudden launches stable coins and it outperforms, it has more utility. That maybe. But if all stays similar, if everything still stays the course, if Bitcoin is still the same exactly as it was, and Ethereum is still in the same position as it was, money flows into Bitcoin, flows into Ethereum.
I don't know. Let's pay our bills here, guys. We want to thank channel sponsors. Today's 4K stream is brought to you by Cam's Blue Wire Technology. If you run a business or you know a friend or family member that runs a business, and you want to make sure your cybersecurity, your networking, your IT is all up to date, is all where it needs to be, and you just don't have the wherewithal at the time, visit Cam's Blue Wire Tech or BlueWireTech.com or pick up the phone and call them. They will help you through all of your needs and issues. Also, big thank you to Radix, the top layer 1 DeFi in our space. Today's show is also brought to you by them. If you want to learn more about their ecosystem, what dApps, what their roadmap looks like, play around with their wallet in their sandbox, visit radixdlt.com. Or again, there's a link in the description of this video. You know, yesterday, I brought you the life hack of your windshield wipers are broken, you don't have the money to replace them. Today, I bring you a life hack of you don't have money to replace a tire. Which, by the way, you guys are welcome for these.
Is that the trash can wheelies?
Is a skateboard?
We've worked in restaurants, you know?
Yeah,
we
that's
know what
the-
that is.
That's the trash can wheelies. So yeah, when you have the big trash can in the restaurant,
You know, if
you
this
put it on top of
doesn't
that.
show you guys,
That's safety first.
when there's a will, there's a way. So all of you making excuses as to why you haven't done something, guys, think outside the box here.
Hey, now when I go home, I just take the wheel off just to give it a try.
That's a good idea, Rocco. Also, guys, just be careful.
Oh my God. Come on.
This was pretty funny. Oh, man.
That's cool.
So, you know, we've all messed around, parents, right? You've all messed around with your kids, right? Is there something you used to do to your kids and mess around with them around?
I would just wrestle with them and make sure they know who's dominant up in the house.
Wow.
Put them in a headlock.
Way to put them in their place.
Yes. Gotta know I'm the strongest man in the house. Like,
I'm
don't
sure
try
they
to
already
step
knew
up.
that by the size.
Well, they
difference.
know now. They definitely know.
You're an
And
idiot,
anytime they
bro.
want to test it, they find out.
I used to give my kids lemon and lime to watch their face just. That was pretty funny.
That's even worse.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Sends a test positive. Damn, hope you feel better. Quarantine. Are you stupid? I don't know. Why that-
Can I use the trombone?
Yeah, please. Thank you.
And then here's a visual representation of the XRP community when XRP rises by 2 cents. XRP Army!
You just brought a lot of enemy on you. You know that, right?
And we have this. I was trying to play this yesterday. We're having audio issues. So here we go.
Tiffany's no longer my girlfriend.
Thank God, dude. That woman was the craziest person I've ever met. in my
Oh,
life.
hold up. We're engaged now. She's my fiance. She's no longer my girlfriend. She's my fiance.
Oh, Mike.
I am so sorry. And she's your fiance. Bye.
Oh my God.
Tiffany's.
I'm sure we've all had that one girlfriend where our friends didn't really like. Robin, have you ever had a girlfriend before?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Thank
Uh,
Thank you.
What kind of question is that?
Robin, why don't you take a second and say hello to the chat?
Yeah, say hello.
yeah,
Yell
of
at
course.
people,
Yeah.
huh?
So, to all my girlfriends out there watching, all right. So, if you are new here, say hello. I'm dropping hola back at you. Also, commanding you to hit the like button. Not even an option. You have to.
Thank you, Commander.
Hit that damn like button. All right, so I got Mr. Market, crypto agnostic. He even told me how to pronounce it,
You did?
Wikipedia style, dictionary
I
style.
love it. Yeah.
Also, you have Danny G. Look at the runes, Raspberry Pi.
Raspberry?
I'm pronouncing all the letters.
Sure.
Raspberry Pi. Also, we have All Set in here. So, to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
What
Well,
about
we
my
got
boy
opening the club
What
today
about
or
my
what?
boy Vitality? What about my girl Ashley?
Ashley been here before.
Ashley, what the buck is going on?
And then Vitalik, he
Vitalik.
Vitality.
Uh,
Vitality.
his is the Vitality, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm only saying this because he doxed himself on Twitter. It was his portfolio reviewed yesterday. So yeah. Man, that's a fun segment. I feel like it serves a lot of purposes. It's engaging for the community. Like yesterday, right? For example, GFAL. I never really looked into it, but because of the portfolio rating, I wanted to make sure I knew what I was talking about, and so I went in. I did some research on
My
it.
brain works slow. I'm like GFLAL. What?
Games for a living.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, we have this video here. We're going to talk a little ETF today, guys. We're going to talk a little Gary Gensler.
And 170 on the likes. We will open up the club. Today will be the day, right?
You know, we said we were going to give Jimmy an emoji, and people keep bringing it up. Are we still waiting on more members?
Yeah, we don't have enough members for new emoji.
Come on, man. We need more members. Thank you. So we have Kathy Wood here. So it seems like the tides are turning in terms of the narrative for a spot ETF. Part of it has to do with something Gary Gensler and the SEC has not done yet that they're starting to do, and that is communicate and reach out to the people that are submitting the application to have a spot ETF. They're reaching out, they're asking questions, they're asking for information, things that they didn't do before, which has led a lot of people to believe that we're going to get this thing sooner than later. We shared an updated chart yesterday as to the deadlines of the next, essentially deadlines for the SEC to either delay, deny, or approve a spot ETF. We know if they push this thing all the way to the end, March of next year is the final do or die, yes or no, do it or don't do it, March 2024. But I think we're going to get it a few months before then. But here's Kathy Wood speaking about the SEC and kind of laying out what I just briefly described. Well, let's hear it in Miss Woods, Kathy Woods.
Looks like the SEC is going to be forced to approve a spot Bitcoin ETF. What, if any, communications have you had with the SEC about your application? Where are we in this whole thing?
Well, it was publicized and disclosed. I think it was last week that we had responded to the SEC's request for information around our Bitcoin filing, and we responded. And that's basically all we can say. I think many people think the fact that the SEC chose to ask questions is a change in behavior. And therefore, I do think hopes are rising that or a number of Bitcoin ETFs will be approved.
Yeah, my understanding is the court now is going to issue a mandate about how to enforce their decision here to the SEC, and their SEC is going to basically follow that mandate. Everybody is assuming at this point that they'll probably approve most of the Bitcoin ETFs by the end of the year. Is that's a reasonable assumption at this point? They lost the court case. They chose not to appeal it at this point.
Right. And I do believe maybe the reason they're saying by the end of the year, early next year, I know our final deadline on this filing is January 10th. And so, and I think we're first in line. But as you say, a number of Bitcoin ETFs could be approved at the same time.
Now,
she said, damn it, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, so the deadline, which, by the way, she spoke about, is this Friday. So this Friday, the court's going to come back and say, here's what you need to do. Do you think, I mean, let me ask you this question first, Rob. Do you think this change of tone from the SEC is them throwing up the white flag, them being pressured, or what do you think it is if you were to speculate? And then do you agree that we'll see one by the end of the year?
I still think we'll see one by the end of the week.
Huh.
But I'm not, obviously the SEC just takes L after L after L. I mean, when's the last time they've had a favorable decision?
When it comes to crypto, it's been library credits.
Yeah. It's been a while. That was last year, or was it? No, it was early this year. Like January, February, something like that.
For what again?
Sorry. Library.
Uh,
Anyways, this is a long ass time ago. So they're stacking L's. And what would you do as the SEC? Pass the damn Bitcoin ETF and then go regulate some other crap.
AI.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we do have
Gary Gensler came out and said AI is going to destroy the markets or something like that, right? Did you see that tweet?
no.
Let me pull up my boy Gary G.
So
let's get his Twitter account. You know what? We're following Gary G, right?
of course we're following him.
Love him.
So
That bald head of his.
we're we're hearing also rumors that not only so we're gonna get multiple spot ETFs, but now we're seeing numbers thrown around. Like we heard 30 to 300 billion, right, of money flowing into these ETFs. We've heard up to $1 trillion. We have some people saying Bitcoin's going to get to 1 million with the spot ETF. I think it'll take more than a spot ETF for Bitcoin to get to 1 million. And if Bitcoin gets to 1 million in a short period of time, I think there's just going to complete chaos around the world, whether that's the dollar failing, hyperinflation, world war. I don't even know what that looks like. But I don't know. What are your thoughts there, Rob? You have a price prediction?
I think 1 million is in the short term is too much. There's
What would you say in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I think that window makes a lot more sense. I think in the next bull market, then again, I don't know, man. If we go straight Mad Max out here and all of a sudden it's New World Las Vegas, and we're trading crypto as a form of payment and water. We got a bread shortage, and I think that Bitcoin could be over $1 million.
Bread shortage?
Yeah. What I'm saying is that if we go straight post-apocalyptic style, World War III kind of game, oh yeah, $1 million Bitcoin makes a lot of sense. That is the absolute doom and gloom scenario. Not realistic in my opinion, but it's possible.
But then how much is that million worth, right?
But realistically, I do believe that Bitcoin next bull market, I don't think it can hit 500,000. I think it's too round of a number. Just same way that
So what's your worst case scenario? What's your best case scenario? My worst case scenario, I'll start, is 150K. That is my absolute worst case scenario. In my opinion, there's no way we don't get to at least 150K. My best case scenario is 350 to 400,000.
I don't know. I think if we go through a recessionary period, there's just not a lot of new capital. The retail never comes in. I think that 100,000 might be the absolute worst case scenario. That's still a 4x from where we're at now. I think that to assume that for all of eternity, every bull market, every halving cycle, we're going to 10x Bitcoin, I think it's foolish. At some point, it's going to taper off. Does it taper off now? And in a recessionary period, I think it's a real possibility. I would give it a 5% chance. But I think that if we are in a straight deep recession, if we're in a war and it doesn't play out like we think it will, and all asset classes from the United States and commodities that are priced in dollars just don't ever rally because we're not printing money and we're just sending money abroad for wars, maybe. I don't know. I think that the financial ecosystem is so fickle. There's so many variables that to assume that, hey, every 4 years, the halving's coming and we're going to 10X. Like, I don't see it. Now, I think it's likely, but I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that we only 4X. I think.
I want to know what the chat thinks. What is your worst case scenario for Bitcoin all-time high? What's your best case scenario for the Bitcoin all-time high in the next bull market? Okay, my numbers are 150 worst case scenario, 350 best case scenario. Robin, don't think he gave an answer. He said 100K worst case scenario.
I think between 100K and 400K.
Okay, so 100, 400.
Half a million. My bullish side would be 400. I think 500,000 is a very strong round number. Same reason we didn't get to 100,000 last bull market. I think it was just a lot of people got buy orders at between $3,000 and $12,000. It was there for the entirety of 2018, 19, and 2020. And so for the 3 years there, anybody that bought Bitcoin was sitting at a 5 to 10x on their investment, and people just sold. And I think that the same would happen if you get up to $400,000, almost $500,000. I think that people that bought for the 3-4 years that had traded at $20,000 or less than $50,000 are going to look at it like, hey, nice 10x right there.
Damn,
I'm going to take
got a lot of best case scenario, 120K, 175, 135. That's your best case scenario for Bitcoin. You guys understand. I want you to understand something. The amount of money that is going to flow into Bitcoin via the spot ETF. I know you have some content creators out there downplaying it, said it's bad, said there's no. Guys, you have the face of all asset managers, okay? This guy, Larry Fink, was able to control the entire flow of money into new businesses via ESG. That was a BlackRock thing. It's something that was taken up on a governmental level. This guy is out here being our mascot, spokesperson. Bitcoin is a flight to quality. Bitcoin is a hedge against monetary debasement. Bitcoin is a hedge against currency debasement. And you guys don't think that when those rails opens up via spot ETF, you're not going to see 1 to 5% minimum allocation of people's portfolios who have hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, millions of dollars into Bitcoin. Guys, come on. It's kind of absurd. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. It's like this is what Bitcoin was meant to do. And if you look at the last 12 months, look how Bitcoin has reacted when negative news comes to play, where you would have seen typically gold start to rally, faltering of a bank, Russia invading Ukraine, anything that brings the world economy kind of shaky or people are uncertain, we see a flight to Bitcoin. Not at a scale that we're going to see, which is maybe why you guys are so, I don't know, just don't think.
Well, here's the thing. What if the ETF doesn't pass?
It's going to pass. Who thinks
it might?
Robin,
The
who
ETF was supposed
to pass?
The ETF was supposed to pass in 2018.
Okay.
5 years later, we're
Find
still
me one
sitting here.
person besides Rob from Digital Asset News who thinks the SEC is not going to pass an ETF.
I'm not saying that it won't ever pass, but maybe it takes another 4 years. Maybe the SEC
no.
drags this out so far out.
They wanted to drag it out. They would have appealed the grayscale.
They've been dragging it out, bro.
They would have appealed the grayscale.
When did the first ETF application go live? It was so long
Back
ago.
in 2013,
And they've been dragging it out.
2014.
They've been dragging it out ever since.
It's different.
And so I get it. The times have changed, but I'm just saying that, like, if you're going to poop on our community for looking at history and saying, hey, maybe we don't get an ETF as soon as you think it is. I would like to think we get one this week. I would like to think we get one by January. Would I absolutely be in disbelief if the SEC didn't pass one this go around and they were sitting there arguing with Congress and, like, absolutely could possibly happen.
You're high.
You're telling me you don't think the SEC
No, they don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. They are at a point right now. They don't have a choice. They got Congress breathing down their neck. They got judges shitting on them. They got people. They got pressure from everyone, including the top asset managers that essentially pay their bills. So don't sit here and tell me the SEC has a choice to deny.
They've had a choice to deny this whole
Yes,
time.
they
last
have
5
had,
years,
but
and
not
they
anymore.
exercised
The
that.
landscape is different. The landscape is different. The players are different. We didn't have BlackRock. We didn't have Fidelity. We didn't have Van Eck. We just had the crypto people.
No,
We had
you
Cameron
had Van Eck.
Winklevoss.
Van Eck had
We
already
okay,
applied
fine.
for an
We've had Van
ETF
Eck.
before. The
The big one in the room is BlackRock. We've never had BlackRock, and then you have Fidelity. I'm just saying, dude, they don't have a leg to stand on.
ARK Invest was before. Van Eck was before. There was a handful of other ones that completely got denied. And I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. I truly believe the ETF will pass. But to sit here and say that the SEC has no choice but to pass it is foolish.
They don't.
You don't think they have,
Robin,
they're a branch of
everything
government.
Points. everything points to them throwing up the white flag, right?
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Okay, so then what are we arguing about?
The fact that you think that there's zero chance the ETF doesn't
They
pass.
don't have a leg to stand on anymore. Everything that they
Then why don't they pass it right now? Why isn't it passed right now? If there's
Posturing.
no leg to stand
Posturing.
on. Okay, you don't
You're
think
the one saying they're going
you
to
don't
pass
think
it in 48
so you're
hours.
telling me.
Now
You're
saying,
telling me there's no chance they
Rocco,
can
was he
posture
not
out.
just saying they're going to pass it in 48 hours?
I agree. If I had to put a percentage, I think there's a 92% chance it passes. I think there's a legit 8% chance this thing gets drug out some way or another. That the SEC finds some loophole, they come up with some other excuse, and they delay or deny, and then they end up pissing everybody off. You think they care about saving
There's
face
no one
with the
left
crypto
to piss
community?
off because they've already pissed everyone off.
And you think they're just going to all of a sudden warm up and be like, you know what, you guys,
They're
we
going to
were
have
wrong.
to. They don't have a choice.
I believe they will, but to sit here and think there's no realm of possibility they delay more the ETFs more is foolish.
Right.
Remember how certain we were when there was going to be a favorable judgment on XRP? It was going to be at $10, $5.
We were not
It
certain it was
2X'd.
going to be $10.
It was
We
it
were not certain.
2x'd. It 2x'd. They went from 25
Who
cents to
said
50 cents.
$10?
I'm just saying.
Not from my mouth. Those numbers did not
So
come
did
from my
you
mouth.
think if we got a favorable ruling on XRP, we were going to get a 2x and that was it?
Yeah. Well, no, potentially
Yeah,
a little more,
exactly.
but we didn't get it. So
I know the court case. I know it's not over. But what I'm saying is that in our crypto bubble, in our circle, we get so blinded by our own little freaking echo chamber that we're like, if XRP got a good favorable, it's going to $3, man. I was saying it, and then to sit here and say there's just no way the SEC would deny a ETF.
They
It's
can't.
impossible.
They can't.
Like literally, they've denied. Now all of a sudden, well. There's just no possible way this thing has like zero chance. Like
Zero chance.
Get out of here.
Zero chance. Speaking of Gary, who got us all riled up here. Thanks, Gary. My blood pressure is high.
To receiving that letter last week. Something else that happened last week, or rather didn't happen, was the SEC acting to appeal a court ruling from August in the Grayscale case. Grayscale, of course, trying to convert GBTC into a spot ETF. I know you can't comment on ongoing litigation, but should we still be considering that ongoing litigation given that lack of appeal at this point? And if not, what happens next?
Wait, didn't you just say that you knew I wasn't going to comment on the litigation? But let me just say.
But is it still ongoing since you didn't appeal?
We didn't appeal last Friday. I think that's accurate.
So you could still in the future in another form.
But what we have in front of us, just so that the viewing public understands, we have not one, but multiple, I think it's 8 or 10 filings that the staff and ultimately the commission is considering for what's called exchange traded products, for Bitcoin to be in a security. So the Bitcoin would be held, and then there'd be something called an exchange traded product, and that would trade on various stock exchanges. And those filings are in front of us. I can't prejudge any one of them, but there's 8 or 10 that we're looking at.
Well, there is a large number, and there is kind of a narrative in this market, and I wonder if you could put it to rest, that someone's going to get to go first. Is that likely to happen, or is it likely to be a group approval? If you're going to have one, a bunch of products could be approved at the same time.
Again, I'm not going to prejudge. The staff's doing work on those multiple filings, but it's also about those companies are issuers. See, when a company is actually, or an asset manager is seeking to take something public, these exchange traded products need to register with the SEC, and they go through a filing somewhat similar to going public, like an IPO. And so it's really the work of our division of corporation finance that gives feedback. Our division of trading and markets, of course, looks at the filings of the exchanges.
Nobody giving feedback.
I hate how he says finance. It's finance. It's not finance.
Is it caramel or caramel?
It's XRP.
Is it caramel or is it caramel?
Or is it caramel?
Caramel.
Brother.
I don't have any comment to this. I just, it's just the latest thing he said.
It sounds the
like
absence of hate sounds positive.
Something we've never seen before, Robin. Interesting. I don't want to pick up the conversation again, though, so don't respond. All right.
I like how you're like, oh yeah, you're wrong, but by the way, don't rebuttal. You're not allowed to.
We don't have time to get into that conversation again. We know who was right.
Then don't freaking say I'm
We know
wrong.
who was right.
Don't say I'm wrong if you don't expect me to freaking rebuttal.
You were not very right. Now, we do have this. Rob mentioned 8%. Robin mentioned 8%. What'd you mention? 8% mortgage rates.
30 years.
The average American now needs to make $114,627 a year to afford a median-priced U.S. home, which is an all-time high. I remember my dad. He immigrated here.
Let me pull out the calculator here.
Remember my dad, while you're doing that, my dad immigrated to the United States.
Divided by.
And I remember the day he signed
$100.
the paperwork for his home. I was there.
Guess what?
Hold on. Let me just hold on. The look on this man's face, the joy. And I remember distinctly what he said. He said, son, you'll understand when you sign and you have your first home that you buy with your hard-earned money in the United States. It was one of the biggest accomplishments of his life. And now it looks like that could potentially no longer be part of the American dream. Should it even be part of the American dream?
I don't even like. Here's the thing. Everyone kind of had when I bought my house, they wanted me to have that same expectation. Everyone's like, congratulations. Like, man, I just took out $300,000 loan, man. Like, I'm not happy about this. I wasn't. Same thing. I went and bought my Mercedes. Everyone's over here like, yeah. I was like, man, look, I just wanted a nice car, man. I'm not happy about this monthly payment, though.
You picked it, though.
Because I want to ride around in style.
Well, then don't ride around in style.
I'm just saying that.
You don't want the monthly payment.
Like, people are hurrah patting you on the back for taking on massive debt.
That's how we get the economy growing.
That's what I'm saying. It's like we parade around debt. Like, hey, man.
We want debt. We want debt.
It's like, hey, Dad, I got accepted to college. It's going to cost me all of my life's work for the next 20 years, like to pay it back. And there you go.
What were you doing on the calculator?
Oh, in case y'all are wondering.
You got the short-term memory of a squirrel, bro.
Here we go. Check this out. So for the median income of $114,000.
Yeah, call it 150.
We would have to have 4,585 whale members to pay for a house. So I'm just
well, I don't know what percentage we're at.
We're at 4,569 whale members away from getting a
guys. We can do it
house.
if we come together.
Yes. So there you go.
Did you take into account YouTube takes 30%?
Ooh, I did not. Man, we're well over.
Mine is 32%.
6,000 whale members.
Guys, we can do it though. If I believe in any community, it's ours.
We get a cool animation too.
What?
I haven't seen it. For people that sign up.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you get credits and
10% discount.
And then when we actually make money here, we'll have events for our whale members.
That's
a long time from now. So
that is very true. Yeah, that is very true. All right. Kind of piggybacking off the last tweet, the volume of U.S. mortgage applications is the lowest since 1995. I also have this piece of news, Rob. I don't know if you heard, but Elon Musk is now charging everyone, or they're doing a trial, to charge every single person, whether you want to get verified or not, $1 per year to use the X platform. Good. Why is that good?
That is good, man. Get rid of the bots.
But we're supposed to get rid of the bots with the verified thing. It's gotten worse.
Dan.
Literally, it's gotten worse. Every time I post a tweet or reply,
it's better than it was before.
No,
however,
it is not.
If you charge every account,
DJ
okay,
on Twitter,
if you charge every account $1 for a computer in India to all of a sudden make 10,000 accounts now costs $10,000, and without this, there's nothing stopping somebody from making 10,000 accounts. Now, 10,000 verified accounts, different. But if I want to make 10,000 accounts, I can make 10,000 accounts. I just got to have 10,000 emails. And then boom, I can make 10,000 accounts and then go spam people. But now if I want to do that with this business model, it cost me $10,000. You just now priced out all the bots. I think this is an absolute dream. And if you sit here and think that products are free, I go from, I paid $0. It's not fair. I have to pay $1. Bro, you're paying for it anyways. You think that, what do you think is free? What do you think is free? When you watch broadcast television, ABC with your antennas, which I know there's still some people out there, I'm just saying, when that signal comes in, you're like, yeah, I got free TV. No, you got to watch all the stupid ads. You're getting sold. You're getting manipulated. Same thing on Twitter. And so if you can make a better product by me paying $1 a year at a cost of 8 cents.
I heard they're actually doing payment plans too.
8 cents a month. You guys ain't got no problem buying Starbucks coffee. God knows how many times. You got all kinds of weird memberships. God forbid you spend 8 pennies on a service that you're on all the time.
You're
like, but my Amazon Prime, I need to make sure my delivery gets here one day earlier than it would if I didn't pay the $60 a year. Like, stop it. Pay your 8 cents.
$140.
I want a better product.
It's $140.
Is it $140?
Yeah.
It just auto drafts out of my account. I have no idea. Damn it. It's stupid.
It's worth it though. It's worth it.
It's worth it because you receive the product one
with
day
everything
earlier.
You get, it's
but
worth
yet
it.
You're
Amazon
open
Music,
arms
Amazon
over
Prime,
8 pennies.
Amazon Prime Music.
You're
Amazon
over
Prime
here.
Video,
You're over here justifying receiving your product one day earlier than the peasants, and all of a sudden you're over here bashing 8 pennies a month for a service that was tremendously improved with that.
Behold, Amazon Prime.
I want to give a shout out to my boy. He is not broke, Yoshi, for gifting 10 memberships. A big thank you to you, my friend. Broke Yoshi has been with us for a very, very long time. I want to say sub 2,000 subscribers, maybe even sub 1,000 subscriber. He's been a well member, been one of our staunchest supporters. So, Broke Yoshi, we love you, man. Thank you so much for all your support and all you do. We
do have some new people here. If you were new, say hello. I can drop that hola back at you. We have Benjamin Coles, River, Glenn, Top Roller, Richard M, B. Frank, Crypto, Tompy, Look at the Rooms, and Crypto Soul. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also, how many likes we got? 98. We are
not bad.
70
That's not
likes
bad.
away.
That's
We
not
only got 15 minutes. Probably not going to happen. Y'all suck. Thank you.
Wow, there's only 150 of them, bro.
I don't care.
Anyways, why don't we take a look at the markets, Robin? Where's Bitcoin?
It was harsh.
Very harsh.
What's going on?
$28,343. Same place we were yesterday. Trading sideways. You think this is a new consolidation channel? 28,000. Think we hang out here for a while?
According to you, no, because we're going to get the spot ETF by the end of the week.
You know,
you can't forget your own predictions, bro.
I told you I don't mind being wrong, but there is valid reasons I say that. I'm not just YOLOing out comments for buzz here. I think that with the grayscale, I think there's a decent chance, in my opinion.
I actually agree with you.
Nice, beautiful. All right, so yeah, I'm not going to go into Bitcoin. We know what Bitcoin's been doing. All right, so taking a look at the rest of the markets, Injective Protocol up 4%, Trust Wallet as well. And then you got a few in the 3% range here, Stacks, Chili's, Hedera, and Bitcoin SV. Some of the losers, you have Conflux, Frax, and IOTA, OKB, Lido. Not your big household names, so the big players holding strong.
What is that? FTX bankruptcy estate towards the top. It's got a little fire emoji next to it.
I don't know. Something that.
Click it.
CoinMarketCap is always promoting some dumb stuff, man. What is this? FTX bankruptcy estate tokens. So listed below are top coins and tokens used for FTX bankruptcy estate.
What's in there?
So this is things that will be liquidated. It's Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana. No surprise there. Doge, Toncoin.
XRP. Okay. Let's take a look at the crypto bubbles. Hex is still pumping. We saw this yesterday. It was up 16%. It is now up 15%. XRD, Radix is up 5.1%. Saw a little spill off after the Babylon upgrade. Nice to see that rebounding. Thorchain up. Chili's. China coin is down. And as Rob mentioned, Frax, Gala also down 2.1%. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Really, really sorry. Now, I do want to take a look, just a real quick chart on Bitcoin, on a more macro, just kind of see where the trend is. So this is Bitcoin on the weekly. With that big fake candle, we did break outside of the cloud, which is good. Now, the good thing is this cloud, the top end of this cloud, if we're looking to catch some support, we're coming in at 24.4. So things on the grand scale are still looking pretty freaking bullish. Even if I zoom out to the daily, we are also still looking very bullish, as all the indicators show we are in a clear uptrend as of on the daily chart. And so just a few things to take a look at. Not saying we can't see short-term price action to the downside, but on a more longer term, we are looking pretty bullish. Now, said Bitcoin. Well, let's talk about Sam first, right? Sam Bankman-Fried. So this is kind of, everything's funny at this point, I guess, right? Sam Bankman-Fried meant to donate $100K to Beto O'Rourke's failed fund, but ended up donating $1 million and asked for $900 back. And here is the text here. And someone brought up a good point that this is kind of like money laundering, right? Right, Robin?
Could be.
Like you go to the store, right? You buy a $5 bag of chips, you give them 100, a fake 100 or a stolen 100, and you lose $5, but you get $95 in like clean money back. Kind of the same thing. Hey, man, I fat fingered it. I meant to only be 100K.
That would mean that the $1 million he had was illegitimately raised, and I don't think.
Well, it was customer money. It wasn't his.
Yeah, but it's still his. It's not. He can't laundering customers' money doesn't change where it came from, right? I get your counter.
Are you standing up for Sam here? I don't get it, man.
No, but it's not money laundering.
I'm saying it
money laundering
feels like
the reason you money launder is that you have money that's not taxable.
You had money that was stolen from customers. Anyways,
no, it's still taxed and accounted for. Money laundering would be like, hey, I found $1 million and I don't know where it came from, and I don't want to pay taxes on it, so I'm just gonna pretend like it came into my account legitimately.
So you're on Sam Bankman-Fried's side? I don't get it.
I'm not on anybody's side.
It sounds like you're Sam
it's
supporter.
Not money laundering. Money laundering is a different.
All right, Robin Bankman-Fried.
Let's check the QuickBooks.
Anyways, inside the trial. So apparently we knew Sam's reach was wide. I didn't realize it was this wide. All the meetings he had scheduled, Bill Clinton included one of them, which, by the way, I met Bill Clinton at Caesar's Palace one time. Very strange. Former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried's calendar was full of meetings with people in power in September of 2022, which was less than 2 months before FTX collapsed. This is all coming out in the trial. On September 20th, Sam was listed as having a meeting with former President Bill Clinton at a Hilton hotel in New York City. Just days earlier, he was also recorded having a meeting with New York Governor Kathy Hochul at a restaurant. I think it was a vegan or a Capital Grill. I was going to say, I think it might have been a vegan restaurant. During the next 2 days, Sam was set to have met with Yasir bin Othman Al Rumayyan, who's the chairman of the Saudi-owned petroleum company Saudi Aramco. So this kind of so the Clinton and the Kathy Hochul one, I don't know if I can point to him trying to raise money, but definitely the Saudi Arabia, he literally went down there and talked to Mohammed bin Salman, who is I don't know what they call it, the leader, supreme leader of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Supreme leader? That's North Korea, bro.
Well, I think
it's the prince.
My bad, yeah. Anyways, the leader.
He's like, the chancellor is here.
Genghis Khan.
Yeah, the chancellor is here, yeah.
The emperor himself.
He also met with Eric Adams, the New York City mayor, on March 3rd. And so, Robin, this man was like an octopus in the wild. Tentacles far-reaching, from sea to shining sea. What can it be and I have to pee.
I have no idea what the question was. It is now gone.
There is no question. It's left
There was no question.
the Sultan.
Guys, hit the like. Hit the like. Okay. That's all I gotta say.
Please.
Okay, so what do you make of all this? He obviously it was a focus on New York, right? There was a focus on New York.
I don't. I would.
Come on.
The dude was just trying to
RBF?
meet every powerful person there is. He's like a girl at in Dubai, just with an Instagram. She's just trying to get as many high profile photos as she can. I think that's what SBF was doing. He's all like, "Who are you? Former president? Come on, let's sit down. Let's talk." Like, I don't know. I can't connect the dots mid show. I can't. I don't know. But
Fair enough.
am I surprised he's trying to meet up with the high, powerful, influential people? His parents are freaking very connected. I'm sure there is a rhyme and a reason for all of this. At this moment, it ain't nothing but speculation. And I can't. I don't have a speculation. I don't have a roadmap on what dude's up to. So.
I've been I listen to a lot of podcasts, a lot of like Spotify, crypto podcasts, and some of them talk about it. And they talk about how is there a chance that they might ask some members of Congress, maybe even someone like Gary Gensler, to testify in the Sam Bankman-Fried trial? I don't think so, but then again, I'm not a law expert, so that would be interesting.
I think they have to provide a list of witnesses that are going to testify
Prior to going to trial?
Yeah, so I'm not sure, but I'm. That's how typically it works. And so now that the trial has started, I don't know if they could just start picking people at random.
Okay. We do have this. So, U.S. Treasury sanctions Gaza-based Bitcoin exchange tied to the terrorist organization Hamas. So, if unless you've been sleeping under a rock, you guys have probably heard and seen what's going on over there in Gaza, in Israel, with the Israelis and the Palestinians. We're not here to talk about that because that is not what our show is about. And our personal opinion really doesn't matter. We're no experts in foreign policy or any of that. But when it comes to crypto, we do want to share this piece of information. U.S. Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control, also known as OFAC, has once again sanctioned on-chain wallets, this time targeting financial facilitators and other parties supporting Hamas. One such entity includes a company called Bycash, a virtual currency and money transfer business located in Gaza. Bycash, and this is a quote from the Treasury, Bycash has also been used to transfer funds by affiliates in other terrorist groups. Hamas often relies on small dollar donations, including through the use of virtual currency, which is why they shut it down. Now, why in the thumbnail or in the title it says the Bitcoin attack continues? Well, we're going to have the likes of Elizabeth Warren come out here, right? And they just grasp at anything, right? And if we're just to put this news story, this thing in a vacuum, right? Don't think about anything else. Just think about it pertaining to crypto, to Bitcoin. Senator Elizabeth Warren joins more than 100 lawmakers to ask Biden about plans to prevent crypto-financed terrorism. We know the funny thing is, this is a from an article on the Elliptic. Following a further series of Israeli freezing orders in April of this year, Hamas announced to its supporters that it was no longer accepting crypto, acknowledging that the use of crypto left it vulnerable to having funds identified and seized. That's the thing, blockchain is transparent. That is why we see, let me ask you this question. The whole FTX thing, the whole Voyager thing, the whole Three Arrows Capital, everything that we saw, money moving on-chain, off-chain, money being, and all those companies that went under, how long would it have taken in the traditional markets for those companies to finally be found? Bernie Madoff was doing what he was doing for 20, 30 years. Enron for at least a decade. And here, because crypto is, in its nature, it's a transparent public ledger, right? That's what blockchain is. It is a transparent public ledger. Anyone can go on there and see. If I tell you I donated $5,000 to this fund, you can literally go see it on chain. And so it's just funny that
I'm glad I got some.
go ahead.
You lined me up for a good one here.
Go ahead.
Did you see about Bank of America? This is a good one, man. Bank of America unrealized losses on securities rose to $131 billion. I'll put that in perspective. That is about a third of Bitcoin's entire
Almost
market cap.
Ethereum's market cap. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So Bank of America, there is no trouble ahead. Guys, we're good. Not that much money. Pocket change, right? That's crazy.
And here's the thing, Rob.
They just lost. They just lost $131
It's unrealized.
billion.
So they haven't just lost, Robin. Semantics matter here.
Okay.
If they were
Let's
to
say-
liquidate it, they would have.
Let's say you took $1 trillion and you bought Bitcoin at the top, and then all of a sudden you're down to $130 billion. It might be unrealized loss, but if you need to draw that money, you are screwed.
Well, that's the problem is
And
if there's a bank run, then they have to go out and sell some of these shorter term treasuries. That's when they get those losses. But the Fed has stepped in and said, don't worry, Bank of America and all the banks that took risk without hedging.
It
And
didn't stop 2 banks from failing. 3 banks total, actually.
Yeah.
2 of them were directly associated with securities losses. And this is a
Silicon
big
Valley,
one.
yeah. But I'm still in the camp. I don't think the Fed would let that happen. I think,
Will we print our way out of it? Debase our
Absolutely.
money even more
course.
than we already
of
have? Yeah,
course.
I think so. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But will that
You
make
got to
the
milk
price?
the cow while
Will
the cow's
that
still
make the
milkable,
price of
you know?
gas go to $10? And will that make inflation go up? And then in turn make the Fed raise interest rates even more? And then in turn, we're talking about our 30-year mortgage being 12%. That's actually I think a real
At some point.
and likely possibility to happen in the future. At what point, I don't know. Maybe it's 6 months from now. Maybe it's 6 years from now. Maybe it's 16 years from now. I think it's going to be a little sooner than 16. I think it's more than likely that we see some kind of out of control inflation again, because we already had that once. I think we get that again within the next, say, 8 years, because our fiscal GDP compared to debt is 120%, which basically means we don't bring in enough money. And that's not even taxable. That's not even taxes. That's just how much product we produce is a shortfall to how much money we owe annually. And we have no chance in operating without a deficit annually. So every year we're going to have to print more money. So that way the government doesn't fail.
You know what's crazy, Robin? Is part of, so you're talking about GDP to debt, correct? 120%. You know what's crazy is part of the GDP includes government spending. And we know the government has been spending at light speed. Even with that, we are still 130% over, or 30% over leveraged on what we bring in and our gross domestic product versus how much debt we have. And it's part of it is they're either going to start printing money, raising taxes. We saw what the IRS is doing. They're saying $650 billion odd dollars in taxes that Americans haven't paid. They went after Microsoft. They're probably going to go after institutions next. And they're probably going to come after us next.
You leave
Especially
Sin
for
City
crypto.
Crypto alone. Stop. We don't even operate at a profit. We're in a loss. We're GDP negative. Same here.
What? GDP negative? Oh, man. Anyways, Rob,
That's it.
let's get an update on your health. How you feel?
Feel good, man. Yeah. Live. I'm skinny. Need to get back to the gym.
Yeah, man, you definitely lost some weight.
Yeah. I had the Jello diet for 3 days.
I'm trying to make,
Wouldn't let me eat for 4.
not trying to make fun of
And they
it. But you
pumped-
do
they
know that.
Pumped my stomach for 2. And so, anyways, nutritionally deficient right now. Be back.
I do want to give one last shout out to channel sponsors. So, Canada's Blue Wire Tech. You want to learn how they can help your business scale and maximize your networking, IT, and cybersecurity? Visit BlueWireTech.com. Also, big thank you to Radix, Radically Better DeFi. They are also a sponsor of today's show and a channel sponsor as well. So, big shout out to them. If you want to learn more about their ecosystem, visit RadixDLT.com. Also, guys, go follow us on Twitter at SinCityCrypto1. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do yourselves a favor. I ran into a guy named Jordan today at Starbucks. And he's like, hey, I know you. You were on BitBoy's channel. You were hosting his channel. I was like, yeah. He started asking me, what's going on over there? I was like, I don't know. I don't work over there. He's like, well, what are you doing now? I was like, I have my own channel. He's like, no way. I was like, yeah. So Jordan, if you're watching.
You know, I was actually at Dutch Bros yesterday, and
I haven't had Dutch Bros in a while.
And the lady was like, so how's your day, whatever? And then I'm like, yeah, let's talk about doing the show. She's like, you have a show? Crypto? Like, vastly different conversation. I got shunned, and it looked at me like I was stupid.
Okay, Rob.
They were like,
time. In the next 1 year, when you say I'm in crypto, I'm like, oh my God, what do you think about this one? Should I buy this one? So I bought Doge at this price. When should I sell it? Those times are coming, my friends. Don't worry. Those times are coming.
I'm just going to throw Bitcoin at him next time. This hardware wallet's right through the window.
Bunch of ledgers.
With that being said, Rocco.
Well done, man. Oh, my God.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It was a great show today. We busted out the gloves, but I didn't want to go too hard on Robin because he's still on the up and up. But come back tomorrow, same place, same time.
By
Love
the way,
guys.
you're wrong. No rebuttal. Thank you.
No rebuttal.
Everybody
You're
know
wrong.
We here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Named according to your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger turn